Welcome into another edition, a year-end edition, if you will, season-ending edition of the Press Box Zoom. Joining us, as always, Mr. Brian Bailey from Channel 9 and his man cave. Good to see you, Double B.
Good to be here.
All right. Billy Weaver in his man cave, parts unknown. Good to see you, Weave.
Good to see you guys.
And Brian Meador. It looks like, Meador, you're working from home today.
Yeah. I'm doing my part to flex my hours.
All right.
I got to keep the overtime down these days.
Sounds good. And in my Zoom, to my right, doing his best Chris Collinsworth Zoom, slide, I should say. Clip Rock, good to see you, Clip.
Here's a guy named Troy hosting today's Zoom. Hello, guys.
Good to see you. I like the sweatshirt. It's
nice sweatshirt.
What a throwback of the Washington football team.
Bailey's
Throwback.
Isn't everything a throwback now of the Washington football team?
Yep.
It's all retro.
Everything I have is a throwback.
Let me ask you a question. Is all this stuff more valuable because they don't make it anymore?
No, there's so much of that stuff out there. Why would it be valuable now?
Never been very valuable.
Watch your mouth. That jersey behind Meador certainly isn't valuable.
This one or the one over there?
Any of them.
And it actually fell.
Weaver, I think the frame
Hey, that happened
more
after
than the
they lost
jersey.
to Washington.
Yeah.
We got the Hail Mary over there.
Yeah.
The glory days.
It's
not here now.
I feel like we should turn ours around.
We should do show and tell from now on. Everybody bring one item.
Yeah. I thought Jack asked you last week, but
The five-time Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys.
All right, here's the deal. East Carolina's season is done. Finished at 3-6, but they finished on an up note, guys, with the 2-game win streak going into next year with a huge, you got to admit, a huge upset win over SMU. I don't think any of us saw this coming. If you look back at our predictions from last week, really nobody saw this coming. Bailey, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I don't think we saw it coming, and we obviously knew there was a possibility if SMU came in flat. I thought if SMU came in flat, the Pirates could keep it close, but SMU came in flat, and the Pirates just blew them out. I mean, it was really impressive. The first half, the scoring 45 first half points, and really, I think it gives all Pirate fans hope for the future that this team can play pretty good football.
We've nice hat. What's your
Well, it's appropriate because the Pirates brought their hard hats to work on Saturday.
They lowered the headgear.
that's awesome.
Weave, I think you should wear that hat all the time when you're doing sports.
I love that.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, let me tell you this though. I agree with Bailey that SMU came out flat. Now, we've all been around a long time and long enough to see when East Carolina was ranked or when they were favored big going on the road to like a Tulane or a UAB or someplace like that where there's no fans, no atmosphere, and they come out absolutely flat. That's exactly what I saw on the field from SMU. You could just feel it. They got to the stadium late. They didn't play. They didn't come out of the gates worth of mess with any kind of energy, nothing. I would love to have known what the coaches said to the players in the locker room at halftime because they did come out a little bit different in the second half, winning that second half 31-7. They were a different ball club in that second half.
Yeah.
And I guess, go ahead, Meador.
No, I was going to pile onto that too. I mean, I remember Rice that year was a big game when East Carolina went down to Rice and lost. There was nobody there.
Yeah.
It was a dead stadium. It was empty, and we needed that win. And I looked at when I was watching SMU in the early part of that game, it was almost like, okay, well, this team, they didn't believe East Carolina was any good. And then when East Carolina puts up 45 in the first half, it was just too much for them to overcome, although they did they did scare us a little bit in the second half. But, I was telling people, who were saying, I'm glad they got a couple wins at the end of the year, whatever that means. Well, look at what the way this year went. We lose the Norfolk State game. That probably was going to be a win. I think that's fair to say. You beat Tulsa. You would have beaten, for all the people who say they're tired of hearing people say we would have beaten Navy with Holton. Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game? Because Mason looked like a freshman. He's a great kid, going to be a good quarterback here. Holton wins that game. Even Mike Houston himself said it's a blowout. He believed we were going to blow them out had Holton played. That puts you at 5 wins, and with Norfolk State 6 wins. All of a sudden, you're a bowl team. You know what? And I know it didn't go that way. We're 3-6, and your record is what you are. But look at there's hope here, and if you don't see that hope, you're not paying attention.
I agree 100%, and you can sense that enthusiasm with Coach Houston earlier this week when we actually had a rare in-person press conference. And Meador, you were there with us. I mean, he is really – I mean, I think the guy's usually fired up, but you can really feel that this thing's kind of starting to move in the right direction. That's really what everybody's been waiting for because it's been down so long. What is the spark where we'll look back at and go, this is where things started to change? And he feels like that SMU game was kind of the spark that could – especially ending the season that way on a high note is we'll look back and go, well, that was where it started to get back to.
You know, for me, even though we had the hiccup against Tulane, for me, it was the Tulsa game because you started to get your chip back on your shoulder. And that's East Carolina. You're a Pirate. You know. Billy knows. Brian, he's been here long enough. He knows. You got to have a chip on your shoulder. And that Tulsa game was like a middle finger to East Carolina by the officiating crew. And I think we left that game thinking, all right, this is how it's going to be. It's us against everybody. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it's always been. And that's when we play our best, in my opinion.
Yeah, Cliff, your thoughts?
Great for Mike Houston, right? I mean, he's talking about the culture and what's happening behind the scenes. We're not able to see that. All we can see is what's on the field. So it was great for him to get his first signature win as the head coach here. Hopefully there's more coming. By the way, I did not predict that game. I predicted Washington to beat Dallas, so I was correct.
That's true. Good point.
Put that up.
Duly noted. And the one thing we haven't yet to talk about, which I thought it was just going to be a Thanksgiving fad, but it's real. We can't ignore that beard anymore. How about that new look for you?
Look at that. You know, well, it's going to stay until late December at least. It was this no shave November, but now I am actually at. I know you guys are going to kill me on this. Absolutely going to kill me on this. I'm going to be in the Nutcracker play, and I'm playing Grandpa.
Are you practicing?
It gets better. It gets better. It gets better.
Will you be wearing a tutu?
No, it gets better. It
got
gets so much better. I'm also playing Mother Ginger. If you've never seen the Nutcracker, Mother Ginger is awesome. All the kids come out of her huge skirt, but it's usually played by a man. That's what
you
makes
were in her skirt.
You have to see it.
Steve, this is a family Zoom we're doing here. Let's kind of keep it above board.
I've been at Tiebreakers many a time. Somebody called him Mother Ginger, so
and it gets even better. How
You're
about this?
identifying as her?
On December 19th for our local church, I'm playing Joseph, and I'm gonna. I know, right?
The joke.
Taking every role offered to you.
Are these side hustles you got going on, Lee? What's going on over there in ITN? Are they furloughed you?
It's not the part of Joseph is not a play. It's just a drive-through for the church so the kids can see a nativity scene. We're setting up a nativity scene, and I said yes. I figured I already have the beard, and I'm going to go ahead and make use of it.
It gets even better. He's also playing Mary at the same time.
I believe it'll be with Mary.
And the good news is now you're the officially oldest guy in the room with that beard. You have
I know.
Bailey, you look older than him with more gray in your beard than he has in his hair.
Woo.
Hey, wait till you see when we gray it all up in my hair and everything to make me look even older.
I talk to Weave every Tuesday on Pirate Radio Live, so I feel like I connect with him and keep up with him. But when I saw it the other night on WIT and TV, I was pretty shocked. Yeah, like, whoa, where did that come from?
Wait,
I know, right?
You're going to dye your hair gray for what? And your beard?
Yeah, because I'm playing Grandpa in the Nutcracker.
Ah.
So I got to look even older.
What's Aunt Ginger going to look like?
Well, we're putting sparkles and everything in the beard for Mother Ginger.
Mother Ginger.
She's a natural brunette, I think.
Weave, is this because of your girlfriend's influence on you that you'll be doing all this stuff?
You say plural girlfriends?
I was just curious. I didn't know if y'all were still dating.
Yeah, she has a dance studio here in Farmville, and that's part of what they do every year is they put on
give it a plug. So if people want to come see you, how can they participate?
Well, Well, we're not having in person. We're actually recording everything this year because of COVID. We've been kind of shut down. It's usually at the theater in Farmville, the old theater in downtown Farmville, and it's usually a big production every year. I went to it last year, and it's awesome what they do. I mean, it's really, really cool, and I hate that it's not going to be an in-person show, but we're going to do it all on video in some different places and locations and historic homes here in the Farmville area. So it's going to be really cool. I'll show you guys some video clips when we get it done.
Back to the nativity scene. Are we going to take bets on whether or not the Virgin Mary is still the Virgin Mary by the end of this thing?
See, I knew I should have never brought any of this stuff up because I knew this was going to happen.
She's on notice, Meador. She's on notice.
I knew this was going to happen.
Boy.
Bailey, what will you be doing this holiday season for the greater good?
I'll probably dress as Santa Claus and go look for some chimneys.
You know how you love them. Have them sit on your lap, Bailey.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Won't quite be the manger.
Hey, can Santa grant his own wish and get you some Dallas Cowboys wins?
You better win some other games there, watching.
Hey, Pittsburgh is going down. They got to lose to somebody.
I agree.
I agree. I think Redskins
up.
can do it. They play like that last night. The Washington will beat them if they play like they did.
That's right. And Washington's got extra time to prepare for them. Look out, man. This could be the one to jump up and bite Pittsburgh.
Are we doing our predictions on that game this week?
Which one?
No, I'm saying I think Redskins are going to beat Pittsburgh. I do.
They're not the Redskins.
Yes, they are. They always will be.
Whatever.
The Red Hawks. The Justice.
Hey, I like Red Hawks.
The Red Tails.
Red Hawks.
Eastie basketball has never lost a game during the COVID era. Still undefeated. They'll go up again Saturday against Radford. What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be a difficult game. I mean, I think they've got to shoot the ball better, and they did against Wesleyan. They got to shoot the ball better from the outside, and they got to play better defense. Even though Radford's off to a little bit of a slow start, I think Joe would be the first one to tell you that we got to play better defense. Yeah,
that was the big thing coming out of the Wesleyan game is that they were able to shoot and shoot pretty well. Another thing that was kind of interesting, and I noticed it on the broadcast. Cy Seymour said it, and then Joe Dooley said it after the game as well. They passed up on so many shots. Now, it's a good thing when you're passing the ball around and you're getting everybody involved, but there were times they were passing the ball around the horn and guys were wide open and they'd still make an extra pass. So Dooley did say something about that. If you get wide open looks, they want to take them in. Like you said, Bailey, they got to play better defense.
It was weird being in that arena last night with no fans. I mean, it was one thing to go through the football season, but I've been at Dowdy when we've had our spring game and there weren't that many fans, or we had a scrimmage and there are no fans. So I'd had a taste of what that looked like. Being in that arena last night with nobody in it, it was weird, man.
Could you hear Coach Dooley offering advice pretty easily?
You could hear everything he says. And it's fascinating when there's nobody in there. It's fascinating.
Yeah, to me that would be the most entertaining part of the game is to hear what is the dialogue that usually you don't get to hear.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the things that I thought might help a little bit, and I don't know if you guys noticed this, all the bleachers down low were pushed back. I think you should just have those. You should have them out like a regular game because it did make it look like almost like a high school gym. It was just very weird to me. I don't know if that made it didn't make any difference as far as how they play. It just looked weird with the bleachers pushed back.
Well, you got to, and Cliff, you made a good point on Twitter. You got to have plenty of room, guys, with this COVID protocols for the bench, so everybody can be separated when they're sitting.
Right.
Because during the game, you got to keep them separated too. And in the huddle, oh wait, they're not separated during the game. They're not separated in the huddle. But when we're on the bench, everybody's separated. So that makes it okay.
That's 2020 right there in a nutshell.
Follow the science.
Yeah, you can trade sweat out there on the court, but stay away from each other on the bench.
I know. Ain't that bonkers?
I don't understand, but I don't understand a lot of things.
No, we talked
Radford's all usually up there with Winthrop at the top of their league, but they're struggling out of the gate this year. We'll see what happens on Saturday. Meador, I guess, and Bailey maybe doing coaches shows. You guys are around Dooley maybe more than I am, but I love that in his post game, it almost physically pains him to say something positive about his team. Like he can rattle off 10 negative things, and he's like, "Well, I guess we kind of shared the ball well tonight." Like I love that. Like he's such a coach in that regard.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember the SMU game last year? Went down to we hit the three at the two-thing stuff, whatever it was. And I went in the locker room afterwards, and they're all celebrating. They had dumped water on him, and they're jumping up and down. He dropped a few expletives and sat them all down and said, "Hey, great, enjoy this. But you didn't win just the national championship. That's not what just happened. You didn't win the national championship. We didn't win anything. What did we win? We beat SMU. So what? Yeah. So what? Keep it in check." It was funny. He shot him down. Like, enough of that crap. No, you won a game. That's all this was a game. There was no championship. You're dumping water on me. What are you doing? It was funny.
Well, that's the thing is most coaches are like that. They'll get on you more after a win than they will a loss. Obviously, everybody takes a loss hard. The players do. The coaches do. Everybody does. And you kind of don't want to, kick a man when he's down. So it's usually the coaching and the yelling comes after a win more than it does a loss with these coaches.
Guys, great visit today. We would look forward to seeing you in the Nutcracker. This was breaking news here today. Also, one degree of separation away from Jesus in the nativity scene. So you're going to be Joseph. So, this next year you do this right, Weave. You could be Jesus next year.
Yeah, I could. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I'm gonna go to Farm and meet Moses.
That's a big role.
All right, guys. I don't know if we'll do this again in 2020. We'll definitely circle back sometime soon. But if I don't see you again before the holidays, hope you have a great Christmas, good New Year, and let's hope 2021 maybe we can get together in person a little bit more.
Let's get a vaccine in the stocking. How about that?
There you go. I like the way you're thinking.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one.
See you, buddy.